So you have a lot of people talking about this whole George Floyd thing, you know? And everyone has their opinions. And now that it's been a little bit of time that's passed, people are trying to politicize it and turn it into some type of conspiracy, as per normal, and I've been kind of wrestling with this whole thing, like in this ocean of voices. Like, how do you clear out all the noise, like all the bullshit, right? And there are some very poignant ideas that are being expressed, but they're kind of drowned out by nonsense, and to a large degree, it's a bit disheartening, right? Because I think everyone is missing the point. I don't want to get into Black Lives Matter, because that always goes to shit. No matter how often or how hard you try to explain that, it gets tangled up, and there's a lot of reasons for that. Let's be clear. Killer Mike made a very good point. Slavery, Jim Crow, has done none of us any favors with regard to how we see each other and how we navigate our relationships with each other. It has done us no favors, none. The superiority complex that comes from that has done damage on both sides. And no one wants to have an honest conversation about it. Those that do are, quickly shut down, either considered pandering or, victimizing themselves or painting themselves as a victim. And, we, for a long time, we've lacked the ability to look at ourselves objectively, right? We've struggled with that for a while yet. Like, that's nothing new. The victim mentality is something that's universal. Like, you see it on both sides, or as many sides that there may possibly be. I don't want to spend a lot of time talking about, the ways in which we have divvied ourselves up socially. Politically. Just all the ways that we've managed, and we've done a great job at being very good, whether, politically, religiously. We've done an amazing job of being assholes and finding ways to separate ourselves and to justify that separation by whatever those means were. My problem with this whole thing is we don't understand, it seems like we don't understand the ramifications on our humanity. Human beings for far too long have placed so much importance on things that we had nothing to fucking do with. Whether religiously or whatever, like, most people didn't pick their religion, it picked them. It was something that they born into, and you have this pride. And to me, I don't know, I'm having a problem with this whole pride thing. Do I think that we should be cool and content with who we are? Yeah. But I don't know. I'm starting to kind of feel like pride kind of leads to arrogance to a certain extent. I don't know if you've noticed, but I'm black. I had nothing to do with that. It's not like buying a new car or a Tesla or some shit. Like, I didn't walk through a showroom and pick out a body and design it or any of this shit. I didn't design my genetics. I didn't pick my family. This was inherited. And anyone who knows anything about inheritance, you don't have anything to do with your inheritance. What you get is what you get. I had nothing to do with that shuffle. These were the cards that I was dealt. Am I cool with it? For sure. You know, melanin is motherfucking amazing. Okay? Understand me? It's beautiful, baby. You know, the sun don't do me. You know what I'm saying? But I'm good with it. But I'm also acutely aware that I had nothing to do with it at all. We're all too proud of things that we had nothing to fucking do with. We can't take credit for any of this shit. Well, most of it anyway, in regards to that. Where you were born, who you were born under. But we have all the power in the world to affect how this world and society moves. And we have not been doing a great job of that. Because you have so many people that are so faithful and committed to ideas that either just serve them or don't serve anyone else. I don't know, I haven't heard it in context, but I heard that Lil Wayne, of all people, and not knocking Lil Wayne because he belongs to the human family as well. But, you know, I've listened to a lot of his music, and sometimes it is difficult to separate that from the human being, and I get that. I'm guilty of it as well. But I heard that he made a statement saying, this is y'all's fault. I'm assuming he meant us as a society. George Floyd is our fault. And I thought about that for a while. And I think if I'm understanding it correctly, again, I haven't heard him specifically say this. I don't know where it is. I need to look. But if that is correct, and I'm taking it for how he meant it, I would say he's right. I would say he's right. I mean, policing, the idea of policing is noble. It's very noble. I would be remiss to say that it is anything but noble. The idea is amazingly noble. But we all know, whether we like to admit it or not, police have been tyrants historically. And we can say, well, not all of them. But you have to understand it's part of a system. It's crazy because we tend to understand this a whole lot better when we're looking at sports teams. Like, we understand it's a team. We understand it's a system, right? We understand, that it's not about the individual. It's about the team. But somehow, when it comes to society, we have no idea. It's all about, we pointing at individuals. This person did this and that person. So if a policeman does something egregious and there's no one else in a uniform that's willing to say, this is egregious and we should not be caught, never mind caught, but we should not participate in this type of behavior, period. Then that says something about the whole agency, the whole structure of it. When no cop is willing to say, this guy fucked up. And I understand, subsequently, George Floyd, a lot of police officers have come out and said, this is not how we kick it. You sure? Maybe not you specifically. Maybe you do find it appalling. I don't want to debate your heart or your motives. I don't want to debate that. That's not my place. But I'm pretty sure if we look at every major city, even small towns, you got this shit. You got it. Why do you think everybody is coming out and protesting? You think that people don't protest about shit that they haven't seen. Like, if it's not affecting them, they don't see this shit, they're like, I don't know. I think George Floyd was that straw, the one that broke the camel's back. Like, it was like, because I think as human beings, we want to believe that there's no bad intentions. Like, even with like serial killers, like the worst of the worst, we try to rationalize, well, what was his reason for doing this, or her reason for doing this? Because we want to believe that it couldn't just be they're a bad human being, right? We don't want to believe the worst in people. But this, you couldn't rationalize it. And I've heard people try to subsequently, like, try to go into his past record and justify what happened to him. But it's so stupid. Even people that are considered intellectuals, right? We all have loved ones. And as human beings, we know what it's like to fuck up. Every single one of us. I don't care who you are. We all know what it's like to fuck up. We all know. I wonder, that particular day, George Floyd was accused of having a counterfeit $10 or $20 bill. The amount of the bill is insignificant. He wasn't violent. He hadn't threatened anyone. And that day, that man died. I have fucked up. I'm sure a lot of you have. I know all of you have made mistakes. You have offended. You have hurt. You have lied. You have misconducted yourselves. All of us are guilty of that. Take you on your worst day. Just think about it. What was your worst day? When were you at your absolute worst? Where you look at that situation that day and you're like, oh, I can't believe I did that shit. Or I can't believe I said that shit. What George Floyd did was a fine, maybe probation work. That man died. What have we done that would deserve that type of treatment? Like, never mind his past record. That day, the reason that they encountered that man as a human being, you on your worst day wouldn't deserve that. Even if you lied, even if you misconducted yourself, you disappointed someone. And then we have people trying to politicize it. You're missing the point. So when Wayne says, again, I have to make sure that this is what he said, but if he says we're guilty, we're responsible, he's got a point. Because the first time this happened, whether black, white, whatever, we should have reacted the way we reacted this time. Not just when we have time to kill, not just, when it's convenient, but every time something like this happens, every time a police officer, a human being, mistreats another human being, we should react this way. Every time. We've normalized it. We've allowed officers to believe that this behavior is okay. We've justified it. We're complicit with our silence, with our inaction. We're complicit. The outrage should be unanimous. There should be no pushback on this. Zero. None. But again, we place so many things above our humanity. I hear it all the fucking time. I'm a mom first, or I'm a dad first, or I'm a cop first, or I'm a, whatever first. All these stupid titles that you came up with, that you acquired after you were born. No, motherfucker. You're a human being first. All that other shit is background noise. It's just paint, man. We're giving away our humanity. Not even wholesale, just for free. We're giving it away. We're using lives like game chips, like game pieces or some shit, to prove points and debates and shit like that. It's just not even important. You motherfuckers, we have forgotten. I don't even know if we even knew ever. But we have an opportunity to be better than we have ever known us to be in our history. We have failed historically, miserably, at being great human beings. Compared to our potential, we have missed the mark drastically. And for all of you people who are intentionally taking this man's death and trying to make it political. Do some changes need to happen? Of course. For sure. But using this man's death to gain any position for yourself is deplorable. We have to be better, people. Remember, you're human beings first. All that other bullshit is background noise. Y'all be easy, man.